I really, really hated this one. Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. I read it so that you don't have to. If you insist, by all means, go ahead. Rhapsodic is about Callie and Fae King called the Bargainer. Callie is a siren. So when Callie is 15, her gross, disgusting stepdad, for perfectly justifiable reasons, mind you, in the aftermath of the crime, she summons the Bargainer to help her clean up the scene. He does appear, but he tells her he doesn't make deals with minors, as he should say to her. He does eventually tell her that he will help her, but only if she agrees to go to this weird supernatural boarding school. This is a school. It's not even a college or anything because she is very much in high school. And a couple months down the road, the FBI are looking into the death of her stepfather. And she, ring, 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 calls the Bargainer a second time. And he appears again, and he tells her once again that he doesn't make deals with minors. She's 16 now, but she's still a minor. She says, no, no, no. It turns out 16-year-olds are considered adults in the supernatural community. Ew. So I guess he takes care of the FBI looking into this case or whatever. And then a few weeks down the road, she summons him for a third time. This time it's just because she has no friends to hang out with. So instead of going outside and making friends with like some of her roommates, people in her dorm, she calls a grown man to come hang out with her in her dorm and keep her company. And he does. But he tells her that in exchange for his time to hang out with her, she has to make a deal with him. And he gives her this bracelet and puts a bead on it for every deal that she makes with him. She just racks up beads on this bracelet by summoning him anytime she wants to come hang out with her. It's so nasty. He starts taking her with him on his jobs, making deals with all these like high profile people in the world. He supplies her with alcohol. He stays over in her dorm with her. And later on in the school year, there's like this prom type of dance that all the kids are going to. And he gets down on his knee and asks her to go to the dance with him. Sir, you should be chaperoning that dance. Okay, but you probably wouldn't pass the background check. She thinks that everyone at the dance is staring at her because she has this random hot date out of the blue to escort her. But I promise you, it's because they thought that he was like a substitute teacher or something. After this dance, they go back to her dorm room and they start to get a little bit handsy with each other. And she spontaneously recites this binding spell to him, and he almost immediately disappears. So they go from hanging out all the time, all day long, inappropriately, to she never sees him again until she's in her mid-20s working as a PI again with her siren skills, comes from work one day, and the Bargainer is laying in her bed. He says, I'm here to collect on the 322 favors that you owe me from back when you were a teenager. Ugh. So he makes her do all these random little favors for him, helping him furnish this brand new house on the coast that he purchased. And he wants her to come back to the other world with him where he's from. It's not like planet Earth. There's like a portal to another world where he's from. Because when he's not making random deals and blackmailing all these people on Earth and in like the United States and in like Europe, he is also the king of the night in the other world where he's from. So he's just a busy man. I don't know how he wedged being inappropriate with a teenager between his job and his second job, but he did. The man knows how to multitask. We also learned that the Bargainer, his real name is Desmond, okay? So Desmond has a problem back home. The Fae in his kingdom have been disappearing, and his women have been turning up in comas and pregnant. And they're giving birth to these really creepy babies. Because Callie is a siren and she can glamour people into telling her things, he thinks that she's going to be able to help him figure out what's going on. He shows her the creepy baby. When she asks them where their moms are, they say they're sleeping. And when she asks where the dads are, they say that their dad is the thief of souls. Which begs the question, is the Thief of Souls Nick Cannon with all these damn babies and baby mamas? And these weird babies tell her that the Thief of Souls already has his eye on Callie. So it's not the first time some weirdo has had an inappropriate fixation on her from afar, apparently. They're doing this investigation together and they're fooling around, and it's less creepy this time because she's an adult. And they're shacking up and playing house in this brand new house that he bought and made her furnish. And one morning when she goes outside to get some fresh air, she ends up getting kidnapped by someone who Desmond assumes must be the Thief of Souls. She wakes up in prison with the King of Fauna, which is just another one of the realms adjacent to Desmond's realm. He's just babbling all this nonsense, and he ends up doing this weird ritual to her where he makes her sprout these weird floppy wings. Fauna King seems happy about this. Desmond, with horrible timing, bursts in after all these horrible things have happened to her and takes care of the Fauna King. She says the worst part of that whole ordeal is that when Desmond busted in to help her, he seemed like he was disgusted by the sight of her. Not all the other stuff. Not all the other stuff. Just that she thought he was disgusted by her weird flappy wings. So he takes her back home to heal and adjust or whatever, and all the ladies are still asleep. So really what happened was a mentally ill Fey man who wasn't even the one they were looking for. Granted, he did make her sprout those wings. And in the epilogue, she says that she can still hear this phantom voice of someone coming for her. And you know what? This had so much potential because of the description of like the Fey world was very interesting and it was like really fun to read. And I just based on the cover art and the description of the story, I thought it looked so interesting. I was so excited to read it. And then I was like, hold on. I kept having to check. Is she still 16? Is there still a grown man sneaking into her room? Yes. Yes, there is. I don't know how we aren't acknowledging that or recognizing it. Bad. 2 thumbs down. Anyway, read it if you have to. If you like to hear a plot summary like this before you decide if you're going to read a book or instead of reading a book, I would recommend that you listen to my podcast called Read It and Screech, where I will give you the cliff notes and the cringiest quotes, and you can like and follow for more.